You got the motion, you're the curious kind. That's something that I recognize. Won't you stay? It's a beautiful day. Don't walk away. Don't walk away.
Like most about this. I mean, you've talked about it being, it's not easy, and it's a lifestyle, but, I mean, is it just,
It's a bad one to get started into because once you get into it as a kid and keep it going with it, it's hard to get out of it. It's hard to just drop and walk away. Someday it's going to happen probably, but it's hard to drop and walk away because you're thinking about the next plan. It intrigues you to work that ground down to the texture you're looking for, to put that seed in the ground, to watch it germinate, to watch it grow, to nurse it along because it's your baby. A lady last week at Woodstock said, "Don't you have any better looking greens than this?" And well, it's like calling your firstborn ugly. It's like calling my kid ugly. You're talking about my greens being ugly.
about family and history and how you're doing what you're doing?
You're going right up an Italian sleeve here. That's right up our alley.
Good.
Because all we talk is history. I drive the boys crazy. They're always laughing about, "Dad, that story again."
Well, we haven't heard it, so it's okay.
We're good, because it won't bore you to tears, it bores them to tears. Because Italians in general are walking history. They're always talking about what their father or grandfather or great-grandfather did
Yeah.
continually. And so, yeah, basically 4 generations. I'm the third. It's my grandfather and my folks, and then myself, and then my boys, being the 4th generation. That's why our slogan on the sign says 4 generations still growing. The boys and myself here. At the market, you've got cousins, nephews, nieces, friends, the whole 9 yards. Here's the boys and myself, so there's 4 of us with 4 hired crew, and each of us needs the other one to do what we do. Grandfather came over in 1900, and then my other grandfather came over about the same time. Both stayed here and worked for a number of years, make enough money to go back and get their wife and their kids. And so I've got, my dad's family was all born in Italy and came here. Well, my mom's family was, my one brother was born in Italy, and the 2 girls were born here. And they went through Ellis Island. The mother had to go, they pulled her aside to do some paperwork. And so the youngest boy, my dad's youngest brother, started crying because he got separated from his mother. So he turned red in the face, like chalk marked him and put him in quarantine for smallpox. So she comes back and, "Where's Errol at?" Well, he's in quarantine. Well, it took them like 2 weeks to get him out of quarantine. So they got hung up, and the people in Portland are wondering, where are they? They landed near, where are they? Well, another 2 weeks on the train, but they got hung up 2 weeks in.
A little bit about your experience at the Hollywood Farmers Market.
Oh, well, we started that when Matthew was 11. How old are you now?
28.
Going on 29 here in December.
You weren't there at the very beginning,
Very
were you?
beginning. A friend of ours, Wayne Stoll, who was, he and his dad, Norm Stoll, had the dance school there on Hancock Street, about 38th and Hancock. Were part of the business association, and they wanted to start a Saturday market. So they came to me because I was affiliated with an Italian organization who owned the property down where 11th and Belmont, where the goats are now. He said, "Well, we'd like to be market master of a new Hollywood Farmers Market." No, I don't want to do that. A week later, he said, "Well, would you want to be a farmer?" I don't think so. I said, "That's really getting back to, under a tent. No, I don't think so." And I said, "You know what? The boys have to see a different side of this, like I saw when I was a kid. I worked in a fruit stand on Coney Boulevard. They need to see a different side than just the wholesale side of things." And so I called him up and said, yeah, maybe we will. Well, Matthew was 11. It was May. We had collard green, mustard green, kale, and that was about it. And so we had 1 hand truck of merchandise that we took down to Hollywood. We split a tent with Marie Riley, who was the blueberry lady at that time. And so he came home that day and said, "Dad, I was down here plowing," and he comes running home, just praying that he sold a little bit of stuff he had. Literally, it was 1 hand truck full of stuff. And he comes home and he says, Dad, I sold everything." And I says, "Well, everything?" "Yeah, everything." And I made $42.
Kale and collard.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what those were.
I was going to say,
Even
no, it
kale
was
back
them.
then.
Yeah, it was a tough sale.
And
It
so
was,
I think I had turnips too. And
yeah, it was a tough sale.
I was there when when I started there.
When you were 11?
When it was been the U.S. Bank parking lot. I'll still see them today. Still buy the same items, greens, what they want.
Do they recognize you? Do they,
Yeah,
I mean,
they do.
they've seen you grow up over
yeah.
the, yes, over the years?
People have been very faithful over the years. We've been very, very fortunate there. The reason why we did the hoop house, we jumped the season by 3 and 4 weeks. Not so much worried about going into November. I wanted to get ahead in May. When you start in Memorial Day, you actually have something to bring. And they're 30 feet wide and 100 feet long, and they're 16 feet high, so we drive our tractors in and work the ground. So it's in the ground itself. It's not in containers. It's in the ground.
No, well, I just want to know the difference. It's generally 20 degrees hotter in and out. So if you're 45 outside, it's still 65 in here.
Yeah.
So it makes a huge difference.
Totally. I bet a lot of that summer stuff is maybe hard to even get to.
Yeah, look right down there, the next plant up.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So far, it's working out.
Yeah, for the markets is great.
Yeah, I couldn't see it for anything else other than
Yeah,
markets.
other markets.
Big, small
Because it's
scale.
just about having,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're really going back to doing things by hand. I mean, the hand push cultivating, the hand planting. It's like when I was a kid. It's everything by hand. Other than working the ground. Working the ground and planting. I can plant it if I'm not planting by hand. I can plant it with a tractor. Currently on the North Willamette Research and Extension Center in Aurora, which they're our neighbors, and Oregon State is our kind of guiding light in this whole farming game. We're part of a research project for them, and in turn, their research project for us. We work in conjunction with them. And this year we're doing our tomato plantings up here under mulch and outside in normal planting, and kind of comparing one to the other with overhead irrigation and drip irrigation. We have multiple varieties. We have Jetstar, Supersonic, my Liguria tomato, my crazy Liguria one from Italy. The boys don't like it, but I love it. We're trying different varieties every year. We have the couple that we like. Then you try other ones with it to see which ones produce the best under certain conditions. Of course, no 2 years are the same. So what produces well this year may not next. No, I don't make predictions. Mother Nature is a wicked woman to dance with. She leads. She'll tell you when it's going to be 102 and steaming or 45 and raining. You don't tell her. One thing I've learned over the course of time, never figure what you're making till that check is in the bank and cleared.
One of the reasons that people are so attracted to Big B is because there is this sense of happy energy that just emanates from it. You know, you got some personality there, and the personality is very positive. I mean, people are drawn to
That's
it.
one thing that I've seen over the years, other than like I said before with, being fresh merchandise to market, giving a price point people can try something if they don't know what it is. And the fact that we've got somebody from the farm, from the family in the stand. So if they've got a question, they can come ask. Whether they like the answer or not, that's up to them. This is who we are. This is the stand. This is the family. It says 4 generations. There's one of us 4, or 2 of us of the 4 generations in the stand any given time. And it's what we're all about. I mean, that's what you'd hope to see at a farmer's market, not just somebody standing behind the till looking down like this while the people are getting their merchandise. We just kind of molded ourselves to it. And so over the years, we'd like to be able to kind of those 3 things kind of hit on the head. And you brought up the personality thing, which I've said before is, we can sell a little personality. But thank God, because we only have a little to spare. So we don't want to sell too much. But that's what brings the people back. Like I say, we know about their vacations. We know about their family members. We know who's having twins or, places around town. And they'll all come, hey, Farmer Frank. Hey, it's Frank. Hey, it's Matt. Hey, it's whoever,
But people want that human interaction. They don't know it, but if you study, like I have leadership in business and read some books on successful people, this generation of young kids that text messages a lot, there's no emotion there. And
So people say, well, what's the nicest thing about the market? And I'll say, the customers. They say, what's one of the worst things about the market? Customers. Because you get the happy customer, which 99% of them are, and you get the one sour apple.
and then you get the ones that complain about the spinach too dirty, or the lettuce is too dirty, or you're not organic, I'm not going to buy it for you, or something like that.
Or it's got a bug hole in it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it rains, it's muddy. You have to irrigate, it's muddy. We don't have that seed that grows lettuce on trees. When we find that seed that grows turnips on trees, we will buy that seed.
You seem happy and proud in the most positive way about what you do, and can you talk about that a little bit?
That stems back from our Italian upbringing. We're just a proud people, no matter what we're doing. It wouldn't matter if we're sweeping the streets. We'd be proud of doing it. It doesn't matter. What we do with our whole soul and heart. Because we love it. Like I said before, we don't love it, we're not going to do it. We'll find something else to do. So it's just our upbringing. It's just basically it's our heritage. It's our upbringing that makes us that way.
You got the motion, you're the curious